And does that theme song hit? Anyway, guys, welcome back to another video here on this spectacular web speaker. And yes, I know I'm a little late for this because it came out last week, but you know, I've been busy this weekend, so I can't really review it. But here we are, and we're gonna review X-Men 97. Before I get to the intros, I just want to say how awesome this show is. It's well made, it's developed really well, and it's like seeing X-Men show, the original show, but a little bit more darker in some elements and more serious. Unfortunately, I wasn't born in the 90s. I didn't grow up with the show, the original. I did watch the show though. It's a very good show. And the Spider-Man one too, of course, because and now this show kind of feels like you're going back into that same feel and vibe that you get from that show, but just more of a darker tone. Let's start the review. Cue the intro.
Previously on X-Men.
Now, starting off with the review, I just want to say how amazing the beginning was of them just showing the new character, Roberto, and the X-Men just coming in showing them their power, using their powers, and it's just so cool seeing it with the new animation that we have now. The fight sequences and a lot in the show is amazing, especially in the first 2 episodes. As the show moves on, you can see how Roberto is kind of in that same position that Jubilee was in the beginning of the original X-Men show. She's confused. She doesn't know why she's here. She wants to go home. She doesn't know what is in the future for her. And that's kind of the situation for this new character, which I really love. And Jubilee and Roberto, they kind of have that bond together because they're the newest ones. And speaking of the characters, of course, the characters are still grieving about the death, which technically he's not dead, of Professor X. Especially Cyclops, because now he's in that position where he has to be the leader of the group because he's one of the oldest ones. And now he's kind of put in that position where he needs to lead everybody. He's also having a baby with Jean Grey. You know, Cyclops got a little... But then Jean does tell him that he should consider just leaving the X-Men because this is not a good way to raise a child. And and so you can tell Cyclops deep down that he thinks that's a good decision, but he doesn't want to leave the X-Men alone, like his family. He doesn't want to leave that part of his life behind, but he knows he might have to do that just for the best of his kid. That's something that they really touched. That's something that they touched very well in the story. How you can see that's a strong choice for Cyclops, whether if he's gonna have to go off and live that dad life, not gonna do that hero kind of work, or will he stay with the X-Men and have his kid, be raised like how he was as a mutant. I thought that was put off very, very, very well. I've shown progressive. You can see the other members of the X-Men, how they're doing with the whole situation that's going on after the events of Professor X's death. I love the characters. I feel like they did not change at all. The voices are good. It sounds like the old ones, although some of them had different voice actors. Of course, the animation in this looks really, really, really good. Kind of reminds me about the Spider-Verse animation a little bit. The 90s touch to it. And moving into the action sequences with the animation, it looks amazing. I mean, it looks really good. Around the episode when they're in the jet, when they're in their little jet, and it blows up, and they're falling from the ground, and then boom, they have to fight the Sentinels. That was all animated so well, and I really liked seeing that. Especially Cyclops, man. He has the best action sequences in this whole show. The way he moves quick, the way he's fighting people, the way he uses that charm to get away for certain things. That's just really cool. And later on, as I review this episode, or as I review the 2 episodes, you will see why he is my favorite, because around the 2nd episode, something really cool happens. But then the action sequence that goes down between everybody with Storm, with Gambit, with Rogue, with Wolverine, was just really cool to see them fight those Sentinels. Really reminded me a lot about the first episode, how cool that was, seeing them fight the Sentinels, and just seeing that with the cooler animation that they have now. This episode, of course, ends off with Magneto returning, but he is supposed to be the leader of the X-Men now that Professor X is dead. It confuses the members a lot on, wait, what? Why is this happening? But yeah, the first episode, amazing, great start, I absolutely loved it. Talk about the 2nd episode, Magneto's new suit. I really love that suit. Magneto's, the purple suit, I really like that. It's really cool for him now that he's kind of changing as a character and we don't really understand him yet. Another thing the show did very well on, how we don't really understand the character yet. Is he gonna be a good person? Is he not? Also leads to the controversy in the whole show. How eventually Magneto is sent into court, which I thought was played off very well. How people are confused, like, wait, Magneto, why is he part of the X-Men? What the heck is going on? And this has another court where everyone is just questioning Magneto, and of course this leads to chaos. People are rioting in the court. This is where this leads to the X-Men having to protect the people in there, because they don't believe that, of course, they don't believe that mutants belong. It's to one of the serious parts of the show of how humans are just yelling. They're showing their real thoughts on how they feel about mutants, thinking that, oh, you think your life's hard? Or how do you think we feel about everything that's going on? We're the ones that put in danger. You guys have the power. We can't do anything about it. And it's really cool because in the whole show, you really see more of the mutants' point of view, but you don't really know how that affects the humans that much. And I thought they put that whole different point of view or different story very, very, very well. I liked seeing how the humans were affected by the whole situation of what the mutants do and the aftermath. Similar how Civil War, how you see in the past movies of how you've seen the Avengers movies, how they're fighting bad guys, they look like they're heroes, but you don't see how the civilians really are. The civilians can get hurt, they get injured, they get killed. You even see that in this show, how you can see the point of views of the civilians. Imagine you're that person that has to run away from these sentinels that are shooting, explosions that are happening. And of course, Jean Grey goes into labor.
You having a baby? Oh my god.
And then Wolverine's just having to drive her. I thought something that really stuck out from this episode was how Storm lost her powers. When you're seeing her losing her powers, I really felt like, oh damn, they lost their powers. And the emotion that she feels when she loses them. Because now she feels something that she's never felt before. She feels human. And it really confuses her. And later on in the show, she finds out that she might not be able to get her powers back. And this eventually has her leave the X-Men group. She's confused. She doesn't know what she's going to do now because being a mutant was her life. Of course, Magneto blames it on the humans, but they didn't mean to do it apparently. And you see Magneto stick up for them, which is still a little bit suspicious because you don't know if they're going... which is kind of suspicious because you don't know if he's actually going to be fully good yet. Kind of cool seeing Magneto being a different person, but it's not like a switch. You see where he's coming from. He lost Professor X. The flaw I had was I wish we could see more of Magneto's background, but I wouldn't really consider that a flaw yet because the show is still going and we could still see more of Magneto's background a little bit more. And Jean Grey gives birth. That was a cool sequence, seeing Rogue just get the power of the Doctor and helps Jean Grey. And Jean Grey and Cyclops name their kid
Thinking Nathan.
Yeah, that's my boy, Nathan Summers.
Nathan Charles Summers.
You don't know, my name is Nathan. I was freaking out knowing that Cyclops named the kid that is my name. This leads to the end of the episode of where there's two Jean Greys, most likely from the future. Jean Grey's character too. She's a vision of her baby, and I thought that was kind of cool seeing her, just seeing her son and just getting all these visions. And I thought that was a nice little sequence to show how prepared is she gonna be. Overall, X-Men 97 is definitely an amazing show. I am very excited to see how the rest of the show is gonna go. Yeah, that's all I have for this review today. What do you guys think of X-Men 97? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What could have they done better on? So far, I'm really enjoying it, and I can't wait to see how the rest of the show goes down. I hope to see you guys back here soon when the next episode come out. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next video.